How to actually lose your love handles. So these is one of the biggest questions I get. The number one reason people are not losing their love handles, I'll get straight into it, is because of impatience. You see, one of the first areas that you're going to actually gain is going to be this area. One of the last areas you're going to lose is also going to be that area. So when you approach nutrition, you got to make sure you're approaching it from a longer term perspective. When you're approaching lifting weights, any routine, you got to approach that also from a longer term perspective. Too many people approach it from a short term perspective, and as you can see, they'll do like a keto diet, they'll do like an Atkins diet, they'll do a water fast, and then they'll lose some weight, but they'll never lose all the weight. They might lose some arm fat, some upper belly fat, but they won't be able to lose this fat because it's the last area to go. Like I said, because it's the last area to go, that means it's going to take a longer period of time for you to actually lose that fat. All right. And because of the world we live in, the instant gratification mindset world we live in, too many people aren't willing to give it, enough time to actually lose the fat and keep it off, which is ironic because they spend years and years and years chasing different fads, when in turn, if they spent half the amount of time just chasing what actually works, which is calorie deficit, which is strength training, which is whole foods, if they actually just did that for a shorter period of time, they would get the results. So it's kind of like a paradox. It's kind of ironic that happens, but yeah, that's the main reason people are not losing, those love handles, because that's one of the last areas to come off. I remember I used to be the same way. I used to just kind of look for, maybe if I do a bunch of side bends, I'll lose, this side because I feel it here. No, that's not how it works. Fat loss is a longer term process. It's a science. So the only way to actually execute, you losing the love handles is to be consistent and to follow that science, guys. You can only lose about 1% body fat, max per week. So in order to get to your goals, like for example, if you're 30% body fat, in order to lose your love handles, you got to get down to like 15 to 10. So that's 15% that you have to lose. So bare minimum, I would say about 4 to 5 months, bare minimum. So you got to be very patient, look at things more long term. It's not going to happen in a few weeks, just like it didn't take you a few weeks to gain all the weight, guys. And that's one of the biggest things. Like I see people, especially on my live yesterday, on TikTok live yesterday, there's people who they spent 5 years gaining about 40 pounds and they want to lose that same 40 pounds in about 5 weeks or maybe 4 weeks. And that's very unrealistic. And when you set out for an unrealistic goal like that and you get disappointed, you can be very frustrated. So guys, if you want to lose your love handles, number 1 is consistency, number 2 is sustainability, and number 3 is patience. All right, it's going to be very important. Make sure you have these 3 factors down and that you're actually very, very consistent with it in order to lose this.